Okay, now that I'm fired up, but I've got to quit singing because I've got a full night ahead of me. So we got some question and answers to do tonight. Sorry it took up our relationship answers time, but we'll do relationship question and answers this weekend. Saturday and Sunday I'm off. I promise you, we're gonna do relationship question and answers. You'll get the me at my full best. Tonight we're gonna do 20 questions from the for the bombshell, and then I'm gonna call it a night. Number one, what's the best greeting card you ever received? Oh, without a doubt, um, I have to think of everybody that's passed on and gave me a greeting card because, those are once in a lifetime greeting cards that you receive and they bring back memories and moments that someone took time from their day to go get a card. But um, I also keep a lot of my work cards because they spent enough time to think of me and give me a birthday card on my birthday, which was it's just I liked the thought. I liked the expression that I mattered. It really was nice. And one year, I had the worst year ever. I was going through a tough time with Mike, and I went to work the next day, and my coworker, which was it was either the day before my birthday or my birthday, I can't remember, had actually went out of her way and made sure that I had a balloon, I had a little angel, I had a card signed by everybody telling me it was going to be the greatest year ever. It was really great. So I have been blessed many times with great greeting cards. What was the best surprise you have ever pulled off? I think my best surprise is going to be my one if I can get this one going pretty well. Trying to plan the cookout. I don't know how many people we're going to have, but it's not about the people that's there. It's just about the thought that goes into it and knowing that he matters and that, we all want the best for him and we all still are, this year's been rough. Yes. And the last year was rough, but the time is going to get better. We just got to try to focus on the positives. What's the best news you've ever received? Being out of credit card debt. What brings out your critical side? When you screw up award shows. CMT has done it for quite some time, I won't lie, and it keeps getting worse and worse and worse. And I just see more MTV coming out than CMT going in, and it's sad. What song really moves you? Share a line from it. I'm going to go right back to not a song to dance to, but I will go to a song by I don't know. There's so many good songs. I don't want to go to a song that I can dance to. I want to go to a song that's makes deep and it shows emotion and it shows raw feeling. Okay. What I meant to say was, I love you. What's been killing me is I hurt you. What I meant to say is what I didn't say at all. And if you don't know who that's from, go back to the 90s and look up Wade Hayes. He was one of the best singers ever, still is today. But we don't always hear those stars that hit it big, and we don't hear the real music anymore. We hear noise, and it's just sad. Do you use the word love freely and often or selectively and seldom? Why? I would say I used to be the kind that believed that, oh, yes, love is just so grand. And, you could believe the good in a man. But I would say selectively and seldom now, and it's sad, but it is. What's weighing heavy on your heart these days? The future, what it holds going forward. Of course, I'm a planner, so I want everything to go according to plan. And as usual, this year has not went according to my plan, which is not working out for me because I'm a planner, but I'm making the best as it comes. What does silence feel like to you? Sometimes it's golden, Sometimes I feel like I'm more productive when it's silent. But there are times when I don't like it being silent, and I miss Grandma, of course, and I'll miss hearing, well, I'd like to have one of those ice cream bars, or can you go get me my pills? It's about time for me to go to bed, or something, to that nature. Do you believe in soulmates? Why or why not? I would say at one time I believed, yes, soulmates existed. And it's sad. But when you get hurt, you get betrayed. I don't know if soulmates really exist anymore. And I don't like saying that, because I used to be the one that always believed like the Hallmark endings were going to happen for me in real life, or the Harlequin endings, or I wasn't going to be one of those sad movies. But then again, I never pictured myself 41, and some would say virtually married, some would say not married, some would say, you know what, I really don't give a hoot what anybody says anymore. You can say the worst about me, but me and God know the truth. And, I have done the best I can do in every situation. And I feel like all I can do is be me. And if that's not good enough, I'm sorry. But let's go on. What situations cause you to hold back and protect your heart? I will never fall in love again. I say that now, and I mean that. Unless somebody hits him over the head with a cast iron skillet, it ain't going to happen. So we don't have anything to worry about. How often do movies make you cry? Oh, good gravy. It depends on the movie. And if I've been watching it for like a long time from the beginning to the end, I still cry at Unleashing Mr. Darcy and Marrying Mr. Darcy, 8 Seconds, Pure Country, Urban Cowboy. I just do. What's one question you're asking yourself these days? When is it going to improve? As in life in general. When is life going to improve? Because I'm sick and tired of being upset. I'm sick and tired of being crying. Having the worst things possible happen to me. I'm ready for an improvement. Name 3 people whom you'd most like to play Twister. We're going to go with some handsome hunks here. Because if I'm going to be bent over in any kind of position playing this stupid childlike game, we're going to go with some handsome hunks. Chris Young, Easton Corbin, and Gerard Butler. Those are some good ones. You can eat dinner anywhere in the world. Where would you go? And order like you're ordering from the menu of that place. Well, we're going to go to Poe Folks, of course. And if I'm ordering from there, I want their chicken tenders. I want, and that'll probably be, because I'm getting married, because that's probably going to be the only time if I ever get down there to Florida, is to eat at Poe Folks, because I'm on my honeymoon, because that's what I've always said. So that would probably be a cheat day for me, so I would get to have my, chicken tenders, my fried pickles, gosh, and, my French fries and one of their homemade biscuits. Oh my land, those are to die for. Just saying. If you called the psychic hotline, what would you ask? I would ask a whole bunch of questions, and she'd probably want to hang up on me. Like, when is life going to get better? I've suffered enough loss. Am I done with loss? Will I be a mom, and when? And I guess that would be a good round of questions. If your personality was bottled, what would it be called? Unpredictable Bombshell. If you had to wear the same color every day for the next year, what color would you choose? It would be between 2 colors, believe it or not. Purple was my grandma's favorite color, so I always said purple was my favorite color. But honestly, I love the shade of navy blue. And I always have. So I would probably have to say it'd either be purple or deep navy blue. Like my SUV. Imagine that. What celebrity would you want to be stuck with in an elevator? Well, if we're talking country music, it's either going to be Chris Young, Easton Corbin, maybe Dustin Lynch, but definitely one of the first 2. If we're talking movies, Oh my land, that guy from the Hallmark movies, Ryan Pavey. Oh my land. Or Gerard Butler from the big movies, screens. Um, but those two. And number 19, it says, you were born in 1977. Did you have your own cell phone as a teen? At what age did you get your first cell phone, and who paid for it? What a loaded question. When we were growing up, cell phones weren't very prevalent. And they were those big monster cell phones, that you'd seen. And they were expensive like they are today, but we didn't have all these groovy features, by the way. I did not have one until I turned, good gravy, 24, 25, somewhere in there. And I paid for it. It was an AT&T Singular phone. And oh my land, that thing was expensive and it was a piece of junk. But I dropped that thing several times and I didn't have to worry about having a protective OtterBox or anything like that. It made it through a lot of things, but I donated it to the veterans when I got done with it. So I always believe in recycling to something better so it has another life after that I'm done with it, because I don't want it just to have one life and then that's it. Explain Sundays back then versus today. Oh, we didn't have the super centers, okay? Our Walmart closed, I believe, at 9 o'clock. The malls closed early, and if you had a science project to do the next day and you didn't have it done beforehand, you were SOL, okay? The next thing that I can recall about Sundays is that was the favorite day for me because all of my homework had to be done by that day, so we could have a family day and spend time with the family. We used to go to the Free Methodist Church here in Mattoon, and they had one good preacher before the one that tried marital counseling for my mom and real dad, and I loved him. And it was Dave, and I don't remember his last name, but he was married to a Jennifer. And if anybody out there remembers them, let me know, because I would really like to see if they're still together. But they've made an awesome couple, and I just remember them being so spiritual that it was very moving for me as for my religious experience. But when the guy that took over, he was just not very spiritual, and to me, he was just not the right man for the job, because every time he tried to give us counseling as a family, it blew up. But then again, you know what? I always say that a man chooses whether he or not his decisions in life. And it was obvious to me that our family unit was not important to him. So, of course, I was the one telling my mom, this man, you don't need him. You can do better. And even if he is my dad, I would not recommend you to stay with him. And I was just lucky, in a way, lucky that he left when he did, and I didn't know anything about it, because he just up and left, and there was no note. We had no clue where he went, and like I said before, in some ways, it was a blessing, because if he would have stayed, I feel like he might have killed us. Just saying. Another thing I wanted to say was Sundays was a day that we went as a family to either Cracker Barrel, or we drove to Poe Folks. We went to Kentucky. We went to Missouri. We went to Tennessee. We went everywhere just to go eat at that restaurant. And I'm so sad that now it's like Florida, and I believe Alabama is the only other place. So it's very sad. Anyway, I've got to go work out. It's been a blast to be with you guys tonight. Love each and every one of you. I'll see you again. We had fun tonight, didn't we? As always, love you, your blonde bombshell.